Online systems starting. Please hold. Activating all hard lines. System start. TheneXtgEn ONLINE activated.
The way sumo works, basically you want to push your opponent out of a ring. Traditional sumo uses a round ring. You guys may have seen the actual sumo wrestlers in Japan, the great big guys, you know, and they push each other. And so rather than flipping necessarily like American or Olympic wrestling, it's more like pushing. And so the goal is to two robots to come together. This guy's one of my favorites. I'm not too sure how well he would do in a competition, but I like it as a G.I. Joe guy, you know, Halloween pumpkin. Anyway, the idea would be to get two of these guys and one of them push the other one out of the ring. And as soon as one of them touches anything outside the ring, it's considered to be left the ring. If it's hanging off the edge, it's okay if it can get back in. But as soon as one of them touches anything outside the ring, then it's out and the other robot wins. We plan on having an 8-inch cube-shaped box that the robot would need to fit inside. If it fits inside that, upside down, sideways, whatever, doesn't matter. As long as it goes inside the box completely, then it's legal. Key things: size, weight, and power. Size is the 8-inch cube. Weight is 2 pounds, maybe we'll bump it up to 3 as we're experimenting with that. And power, the only power that we're allowing is electrical battery power. You know, no chemical, you know, rocket motors, which would be cool, but that's not so good inside, indoors, where it makes smoke and flames. No Mentos and Diet Coke powered robots, unfortunately. I have been in a contest where we had Mentos and Diet Coke robots, but that makes kind of a mess indoors. That was an outdoor event. So everything would be battery powered. If you have a gigantic sledgehammer that you want to crush the opponent with, it just needs to be battery powered and weigh under 3 pounds for the whole robot. Cars are good for going fast and fairly straight and making gentle turns. They're not good for spinning in place like a tank would. And in a small arena like this, you really want something that can kind of spin in place. This is a little bit more expensive than buying an RC car already built. But the advantage of this is that this guy step forward, but can also spin in place. So he's a lot more maneuverable. So you'll see he can turn on a dime, and he can struggle with his opponents and whatever. So this guy is real maneuverable. He can turn on a dime, and this is often called tank steering, because like a big full-size tank, it can spin around in place, as opposed to a car, which can't. Cars use car steering, and this guy uses tank steering, so he can move all over the place. No cost to register, and the only cost is, since we're having this at the Science Museum, and the Science Museum is graciously hosting us, to cover their expenses, they charge admission. One way to get in for free is to offer to do a demo. I only have 2 goals with all of this. Number 1 is I want people to learn. I want myself, and especially want to see kids get excited about learning. And number 2, I want everyone to have a good time. If it's not fun for everyone involved, there's no point in having it, and it's not going to support learning. And so I want good sportsmanship, and what we call in Lego League, I've done a lot of Lego League and a lot of Lego Leaguers here too, gracious professionalism, which means it's more than just being a good sport. It means actually helping your opponents, being respectful to everyone involved, cheering for the other team. The plan is for every team to do what they call a round robin. Whereas if we say we get 5 teams registered, every team goes once against every other team. If there's time, depending on the number of teams who register, say if there were just 5 teams, we might do 2 sets of round robin. So every team goes against every other team twice, if time permits. But if we got 10 teams registered, it would take too long. you know, so it'll depend on how many folks register. Another reason why we want to know in advance how many folks register. Another thing too is if we get a lot of teams, we may break it up into 2 categories. And you don't want to have these experts competing against people who've never ever done any of this, because it's not fun. We may break it up into like a beginner's bracket and an experienced robotics person bracket. Not based on age, but based on experience. Robots can be autonomous like these guys. These are the Lego NXT robots. You program them with a computer, and I know that everyone here can do it because, like I said, an 8-year-old taught me how to program these. I'm confident everyone can do it. The downside is that these cost more. One of these kits is about 250 bucks. So, you know, one way to get access to these kind of kits is to join a team.